Hello, everybody, and welcome. How is my sound? For one, I want to make sure my sound is perfect. One in the chat if I am heard and good. Okay, I'm going to give a few minutes here to let a few more people come in. See if anybody else comes in over the next minute or two before I get started here. I know it is late for some of you guys, so thank you for coming in and hearing what I have to say. Okay, we have 16 in here now, which I guess is all right. I'm not a real big channel. I didn't expect a whole lot of people to show up anyway or to even care what I have to say, but I felt that it was time to address some things that have happened within the YouTube community as a whole. In several different communities, several different bullying tactics and body shaming issues that I feel need to be addressed, and we are. It's going to be addressed tonight. I'm going to at least say what I have to say about it. I'm also going to address some other issues as well. And just have a chit chat stream here and hopefully have a chill stream. I don't plan on having anybody up in the stream. I do not plan on posting a link. I do not plan on inviting or letting anybody up. This is simply I'm going to talk so that I can get what I have to say out and the way I feel about certain things out. So, I guess we're going to go ahead and get started here. First thing I want to address, I know at times in this community especially, or at least the pred catching community, that we joke around. Some people joke around, they troll, they joke about the way somebody talks, the way somebody acts, maybe the way they look in a certain way, especially when it comes to the people that are the subject of our educational documentaries. But sometimes that actually affects people in their everyday lives. Sometimes it is seen and heard what is said about somebody, and maybe somebody doesn't exactly feel great with the way they look. And so when they hear that somebody is saying something about them, that may make them feel a certain type of way. It may put thoughts in their head and make them think about doing things. Sometimes our words do have actions and reactions. Me, myself, personally, I'm great with the way I look. I don't have an issue with it at all. I think I look fine. But I do take issue with the name calling Um, the calling because of the way I walk, saying that I'm a penguin. Um, Not that I really care what anybody in this community has to say or thinks about me as a person, because what they say and what they think doesn't affect the way I feel in my everyday life. But I do take issue with the name calling of such. Um, so that's one issue I want to address. Um, I don't necessarily appreciate that. Um, and I've lurked in different channels and seen that, not only in this community, but in others. And people from this community in other communities thinking that I was in that community or in that room, or hoping I was maybe, and seeing something. Yes, I lurk sometimes. Um, I've seen some things myself from people I thought that didn't have a problem with me. But I don't know. Maybe it's just them trolling. That's whatever. But I do at times take issue with that, because I do have issues myself, medical issues myself, that I am dealing with, um, that play a role in obesity, that play a role in several different things. That is neither here nor there and nobody's business. So I'm not going to go any further into that. But we should be better as people, is how I feel, than to shame somebody for the way they look, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they act. Um, that's low of low. Internet bullying is still bullying. Um, so bullying is not a good thing. I've dealt with bullying in my personal life, throughout school, in jobs, in different places. Um, at no time is bullying a good thing. So and I honestly, I cringe when I say community, because this is, and honestly, this is what makes me want to address this, because at the same time that this is going on in this community, we are also supposed to be a community of survivors, about survivors, for survivors. Um, how can you support a survivor and be behind a survivor when you're going to bully and body shame and make fun of people that you don't know personally? And that's the thing, that you don't know personally. If you know them personally and they joke about their own selves and they laugh about it and giggle about it, then that means one of two things. Either they're okay with it and they're comfortable enough with it that you know them well enough, you can joke with them in that way, or they just don't give a shit. I honestly don't give a shit, but to see that at times, it kind of does. I kind of go, wow, really? That's kind of, that's childish. And we're all supposed to be adults in this community, but yet we revert to childish tactics when it comes to doing things. It's things like that that YouTube catches wind of, YouTube sees, YouTube hears, that makes YouTube want to remove a community like us from YouTube, because we're supposed to be supporting a certain type of thing, and then we're also seen being childish throughout the community. So that's mainly all I had to say about the body shaming and bullying issue is we should just be better people. Shouldn't have to revert to those tactics. You can joke around in other ways and have fun and poke fun at each other in other ways than to bully and body shame somebody. And especially when you don't know them personally. I've not met one person other than Jeff in person from YouTube. That's it. Nobody in this chat knows me personally enough that they should feel comfortable with joking about. That's your warning, Matt. We can be friends, Cabela. I know you're singing, but I was making a joke, whatever. But that was basically all I wanted to say about the body shaming and bullying issue. There are other things now to address that I would like to address. Yes, I changed the name of my channel to its current name, and also at the same time revamped my channel to focus more solely on my internet radio business that I run. I am using YouTube as a platform to help launch that business and grow that business. So 99.9% of my streams will be some type of podcast. There will be live radio shows. I do plan on getting video into the A7FL podcast that I do, that I aired the first episode last Monday of. There was not an episode of that to air this Monday because some things happened and we just didn't do an episode. Our episode is a reactionary episode to the original A7FL 3-on-1 podcast. The A7FL 3-on-1 podcast did not happen until till Thursday morning. And at that point, things were going on that I had going on. I was working, and my business partner that I do the podcast with also had job duties. So we could not do a podcast. The podcast for the A7FL 3-on-1 was only 43 minutes. They didn't talk about a lot. We didn't feel like there was a lot to react to. This coming next Monday, there will be an episode of A7FL's Other Side of the Ball with me and Eric Duncan. It will be here on YouTube, premiering on Mondays. I'm going to try to drop it around 11 a.m. every Monday, just so it's there to be seen throughout the day. That podcast is going to be available on Fridays, by Friday morning, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. The A7FL 3-on-1 podcast is Wednesday mornings on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please feel free to go like those podcasts, follow those podcasts, and listen to them there. That's the main platforms. Me airing it on YouTube and premiering it on YouTube with the art that we use as our cover art for our podcast cover, and the wave streams going across the screen is what we've done to format it into a video format for YouTube so that it can be seen on YouTube or heard on YouTube. There's no actual video yet. We are working towards that eventually. With that said, I plan to make the YouTube thing on Mondays, since it's 3 days later, kind of a come in, re-listen to it, ask questions that you have in regards to the podcast and get answers. That is the plan. I will also, hopefully, within the next month, have some type of, call it a live show, a radio show, a live show in radio format, where there will be talk about sports. It'll be a sports talk show of some sort. This is to build the sports broadcasting side of my internet radio station, which is what I originally intended to do to begin with. With that said, that me and know that me and Jeff have talked and had discussions. Those talks and discussions are going to stay between me and Jeff. But no, my role with CPNI will not affect CPNI business. My involvement or non-involvement with CPNI moving forward will have no impact on CPNI business whatsoever. I'm focusing on my internet radio more right now, so I'm not going to be as involved. With that said, that doesn't mean there's not going to be decoying, there's not going to be catches. Jeff is actively decoying, or at least at the last time I talked to him an hour ago or two, he was decoying, and 7 is on standby. I am working to gather certain things to get sent to certain people. I don't think I need to say any more than that, other than I'm working on some things and gathering some things and getting them sent to appropriate people. And am I done catching wrestlers, Mom? Not exactly. I've refocused towards what I went to college for. I went to school for radio broadcasting with the intention to start my own internet radio business where I could do talk radio, sports broadcasting at live sports events, and also play licensed music like an FM radio station, and launch that onto a platform where I'm paying the platform monthly. They're taking care of the licensing, they're taking care of the paperwork and all that. I'm keeping paperwork for my business, for my taxes and such as that. But the platform that I'm launched on, like YouTube, is taking care of the licensing for the music and such, so that I can play whatever music I want. That's what I wanted to do with my life since I was 15, 16, at least. As soon as I got into college for it, internet radio became where I wanted to go, because I saw the behind the scenes of FM and AM radio and didn't like what I saw, didn't like the way things were being done, and sat down and found a better way, or what I felt was a better way, to do the same stuff they were doing. and make more money at it. In a way, not necessarily like you guys probably think FM radio and them DJs make hundreds of thousands. No, they don't. They don't make hundreds of thousands. Most of them don't anyway. But me doing it by myself with little overhead, I have a bigger profit margin than if I went and worked for an FM station and they paid me, say, $10 or $12 an hour to be a DJ. That's if you're lucky. So somebody said talk about real football, CFL. No disrespect, but the A7FL is no pads, no helmets, full contact. I wish I had permission to pull up some of their videos and show them, but you can look them up on YouTube, A7FL, and watch some of their games. There's at least one on there that's a Las Vegas team. That's the division that I broadcast for, the A7FL Nevada. I didn't broadcast those games because they were in New Jersey, but if you go and watch those games and watch some of the action, I think you guys, any of the games, doesn't have to be Las Vegas games. It can be any of them. I think you guys will, if you guys are football fans, you guys will like the style of football that's being played in the A7FL. They can also be seen on stream or Stadium Watch. I believe when their season, that's where the games of the week begin, when the season begins in March. So that's their platform that you can watch them on. But look into them and look them up. It's really good action. I thought they were crazy when I heard it, but then I went and I saw one happen live and was like, wow. And now I'm kind of a part of it, and I love it. And I only hope to grow from there. But again, my involvement or lack thereof is not going to affect anything that happens with CPNI. The name change in my channel simply means that there's probably not going to be decoy calls or things like that happen on this channel, because this channel has to start being more geared toward the radio side of things. This even is kind of considered a talk show. I talked about bullying, I talked about body shaming, and now I'm talking about the path of my channel. I do plan on having other people do radio shows and such on my channel. I'm in the works right now with somebody to try to get their talk show that they do on Facebook called Pig Skin Talk. Trying to get him over here to do his show on my channel. He's not big. He's a college student. He's learning. But I want to give him an opportunity to do his show live here instead of on his Facebook, where he can get maybe a bigger following, and I can grow and develop this radio station that I'm building. But just because I address that does not mean that makes it obvious I haven't refocused. It's pretty obvious that I refocused now. If you go rewatch my channel and watch most of my videos and watch my last video that was up last Monday, That's my A7FL podcast, and that's the main thing that's going to happen on this channel on Mondays. Other than that, like this type of live won't even happen because it will interfere with the algorithm of that style of show. That's a talk show talking about sports. I'm going to try to get another sports talk show on there. I'm also going to try to get maybe another talk show about news or something like that on there and build it into a radio station like you would actually hear on the radio. So, yes, I have refocused. Totally 100% refocused. Again, that doesn't mean, that may or may not mean that I may be less or may not be less involved with CPNI in the things that I do for them. But that is going to be separate from this. This is, from now on, radio station style stuff only. If somebody has a podcast and they're on a small channel and they also want to do it on my channel as well, they can send me a message on Facebook, Instagram, and we can discuss it. I'm totally open for that. Maybe they don't want to use their channel for podcasts, but they want to do a podcast. Well, that's what I'm trying to build this into. I'm trying to build this into a channel of, it's a radio station channel. It's a radio channel. Just like if you popped up iHeartRadio and opened up your favorite radio station, that may mean at some point I actually have advertisers and sponsors that during the show it gets played or it gets read. It's a live read. There's several different things that may start happening with this channel because of how I am focusing it. But I hope it does. I hope it does become very successful. That is my intention. That's why I'm gearing this station the way I am. If I want to do a radio show, a talk show, then I will. If I want to talk about sports, I'll do it. If I want to come on here and talk about politics, it's still talk. I'll do it. If I want to talk about why the sky's blue, not that that's why I would come on here, but just saying, anything that would be kind of a talk show type topic, that is what I'm going to gear this towards. I can't play music on here because they copyright strike you when you play a song unless you have a license to play that song. And the license through the people I would have to pay so that I could play any song I wanted to without worrying about copyright. There's like 2 or 3 different licenses, and each one is like $1,000 each. And that's just for a year. That's not even a lifetime license. So yeah, there won't be music being played unless, and this is something else that may happen on here, interviews. The other day I had an opportunity. I missed it because I was working. I was working at the state fair. I actually had an opportunity, had it offered to me through somewhere that this person was going to be to go interview a member of Sublime. But I had to work. I had work obligations. So I did not go and try to take that opportunity. It was presented to me by the owner of the business that was going to be there. I would have still had to talk to the performer and their manager to actually make it happen. But it was a possibility at least. Again, I missed it because I had work. there are other people who I may have the opportunity to interview in the future. May or may not have the opportunity to interview in the future. Could be a boxer, an MMA fighter, a wrestler, a singer, songwriter, performer. It could be anybody. Um, when you start to do things like this, like I am going to do, and I've already built a business out of it, at least I filed a doing business as a license for this name, for the KHLC Internet Radio Network. I have paperwork on that name. So when you start to do things like radio and internet radio, and you grow, sometimes you get opportunities to talk to people. And sometimes they feel like doing an interview live. So you get a live interview with somebody you would have never thought you would have. Hell, I've had opportunities already. I've actually had meet and greets with people because of my involvement in radio. See, before I moved to New Mexico, I was working with radio stations and doing different things. So, yes, I got to go to concerts, I got to go to shows, I got to go to Broadway musicals that happened in Oklahoma City and Tulsa, in Wichita, all over. So, and I want to gear my YouTube channel towards that because that gives YouTube viewers something different to see and hear. Some of them there could be video involved. Some of them could just be set up as a StreamYard, as a, panel where I have a guest up and said guest and I talk. And we talk about certain subjects. No, I'm not a corn too. I went and I worked for a food truck, a local food truck for the local state fair. It was not a carny that I worked for. I am not a carny. I work events and things like that, football games, concerts, in different capacities. But I usually don't work food trucks at state fairs. That's not normally something I do. But it paid good. So, Grant, if a tactical soap company actually existed and approached me and asked me about advertising, I would totally talk to them about advertising for them and doing an advertisement for them. And if we came to an agreement, then yes, I would. There's not a company really that I wouldn't advertise for, or a type of product that I wouldn't advertise for if they were willing to pay what we agreed upon for advertising fees. We've got down to 8 people, 35 minutes into the stream. Yeah, big girl. Yes. If a company hit me up, there's that type of company, then yes. If anybody has any questions about my platform, about what I'm going to be doing, suggestions on things I could do, feel free to make them in the comments. If not, I'll probably give this about 5 more minutes and then end it, because I feel like I'm out of things to talk about. I feel like I've addressed what needed to be addressed. And I do want to make a verbal warning so everybody, at least the 7 people in here, maybe can spread it around. Penguin is kind of offensive towards me. I kind of take a little bit of offense in that, because what you are referring to is the way I was running in one video, and I was holding the side of my pants to hold my pants up, because I didn't have pants where I could wear a belt, and I had a wallet in my pocket. So, yeah. If I actually had planned on running that night, I would have not looked the way I did. If it's in reference to the way I kind of walk, that is a absolutely part of me being a tad obese, hence causing more weight on my knees and my ankles, which causes my knees and my ankles to swell sometimes and causes me to walk sometimes not 100% the way somebody would walk. But that, again, that is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I really don't care what anybody here thinks or has to say about me. But yeah, I've talked to Jeff and we've had discussions, and what we've discussed and decided is between us, and my involvement may be more or less with CPNI in the coming future because of me focusing more towards what I'm focusing on here. So that's not that's not I'm leaving statement. That's in no way, shape, or form. That is not. It is just that my involvement may become less or more. And there are certain things I am gathering for CPNI and working on to get to the appropriate people. There are certain things I am having to work harder on than others because of certain situations that have happened. Again, I'm not going to go into detail on that because that is nobody's business. That is our business. And everybody on the team knows exactly what my statement means and what is happening. You guys can take it however you want. Feel free. I cannot tell somebody. I cannot control somebody. I cannot tell you how to feel about my statement or how to interpret my statement or any of that. So, would anybody have any questions they would like to ask or anything they would like to say in regards to anything that I have said? Because I do want to give everybody in the chat a chance to ask their questions and say whatever they want to say. Because here's the warning. This is going to be the one and only warning. Any reference to penguin bananas with symbols, words that is in any way meant to be offensive on this channel, this is your warning. So when it is seen, my mods know and have a right to, the first time you out, the second time remove you from the stream. That's it. This channel will not deal with and tolerate bullying, body shaming in any way, shape, or form in the chats at all. If it's me and somebody I'm interviewing because I know them and we're joking a certain time, that's us and we're good with that, and that's on the people speaking. But for the people in the chats, if it's seen, if it's heard, well, it wouldn't be heard, but if it's seen in the chat, it will be timed out first, removed second, and the third time they see it, banned. And then I will review the ban list once a month and remove anybody I feel deserves to be removed or should get another chance. If you're banned a second time, you will not get a third chance. I'll just let that be known now. And there's your warning, O.J. Simpson. So, because I know that was meant to be offensive, so and actually I have not adopted mainstream media tactics because they bully, they body shame, and they all the time. And they show people bullying and body shaming and being disrespectful all the time. Mainstream media is a joke. That's why I went the route I went with my career, using internet radio, not FM radio or AM radio. I would go Sirius XM radio. I would go to other streaming radios like that, platforms like that, because they honestly don't give a shit what you say. So, to say I'm adopting mainstream media tactics is far-fetched, to say the least, or most. In either way you want to put it, you're ridiculous to say that I'm adopting mainstream media tactics, because that I am not. But my channel does have to be professional. It is being watched by people who care about what I'm doing with this, and seeing certain things happening in chats and not being addressed and not being handled accordingly shows negatively on me and my channel. So if you can't come into my channel and be respectful in that sense, then you will be timed out the first time, removed the second, banned the third. So that is that. Anybody else? Gabby girl? Yeah. I know it doesn't seem fun, but you know what? I shouldn't even have to say this on my channel. I shouldn't even have to. Nobody should have to say anything like this on their channel if they're trying to keep it professional and geared toward a certain thing and in a certain way, like I am. I mean, when you come into somebody's channel and you're listening to them and you're listening to what they're doing, and this is why I did this live tonight mainly. I named it what I named it because I did address that first. That was the first thing I was addressing, but it was mainly to address this here, that I am an internet radio station, internet radio network. This is an internet radio platform. It's going to be internet radio based. And with that being said, certain things cannot happen in the chats because certain people that actually care and may or may not actually get involved with what I am doing based on what they see and hear in my streams and in my videos that I upload, then they may or may not get involved. So I have to at least let you guys know I'm gearing my channel this way. If you're going to come into my channel to interact, it's not going to be predcatch based. It's not going to be educational, documentary, let's call it that, based. It's not going to be. That is separate from this channel. So when you come into this channel, please keep the chat about what you hear in the audio of the stream. Or if there's video, what you see in the video. Like if it's me doing a video somewhere as a broadcast, just per se, then, and you see a bunch of people, you can say, hey, how many people are there? Something like that. That is related to that stream. But if you come in here with the other community crud, we'll call it, then it will be dealt with accordingly by my mods. And that's that. That's all there is to say about that. If anybody else would like to ask any questions or make any statements, they can feel free. I doubt you really rescued any penguins, O.J. Simpson. And that's the second time that you've used that because of that statement. So whatever. I'll leave it alone for now and let it be because I'm getting ready to end it anyway. And at least people will see how ridiculous you are if I leave that one up. Because unless you actually really, and I doubt it, then you're just saying it in that sort of way so that maybe I won't think you're talking about me. But I'm smarter than that, OJ, and you're just a prick. So, yes, 7, exactly. MMA and wrestling radio would be sick. And I may or may not, depending on where I get permissions from, have some MMA radio style shows from live MMA events, live wrestling events, not UFC, not WWE, but professional wrestling, other markets. I may have some fights where I'm at and I get to analyze the fight and then post-fight get to interview the winner. It's in the works and it could happen. I may or may not get to put that on this channel, But the hopes is to be able to get permission to take that audio, lay it into an MP4 format, and at least put it on this channel, if nothing else. If I can't do it live, then do it pre-recorded, the pre-recorded interviews, set them up into an MP4 format, and post them to YouTube for you guys to hear those interviews. But yes, I totally agree, 7. That would be totally sick. So that's some of the things I'm looking to try to do. Anybody else got anything they want to ask or say? Maybe a suggestion like 7 just did? MMA and wrestling radio? Maybe some other things that I could try to do on this channel in that type of professional setting, that professional way, to help gear this more towards a radio style station. And yes, sometimes you may or may not hear my kids in the background. That's fine. Because again, nothing I'm doing on this channel would make it wrong for them to be heard either. So, midget wrestling. OJ Simpson. That might actually be pretty funny to do some interviews with some midget wrestlers, but be fun too. Anybody else? Damn, I had this thing up to 22 at one point. Now, if you're in here and you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't. If you didn't do it on your way in, please do so on the way out. Some people may find it funny, OJ. I would find it more fun because I've actually been to midget wrestling events, and they're actually better than WWE most of the time. So, not funny to me, but fun to me. In case I was not clear. And that's the other thing too, maybe, that needs to be addressed. And maybe I should just do that on another stream as we're coming on to an hour. And I don't think I can address it in 6 minutes. But the taking what someone says and twisting it totally out of context and telling somebody else that they said this and then telling a whole bunch of people that to get a whole bunch of people to believe that when they didn't actually hear the original stream to begin with. If a lot of you guys would just go back and listen to the original streams of certain things and of certain people, you would realize that words got twisted, narratives got twisted to match the narrative that they wanted to narrate, that they wanted to put out, that they wanted people to believe. See, they're YouTube storytellers. That's what I like to call them. They like to tell all these YouTubers stories about, oh, such and such said this. When if you go and look at the stream and watch the original stream where such and such said that, you'll realize that was taken out of context and not completely what they said. What they said was and then go, oh, wow, that person's a moron for saying that person said that when they didn't say it. and it would solve a lot of the drama issues in the other community. Just a tad bit of advice. Not going to go any further into that one right now. That's another stream for another day when I might have guests up and we can talk about that specific thing, and it'll be with guests that I approve and that I know are professional. It may be behavioral professionals themselves. I don't know. Got my mind going now. Psychologists interviews. Oh God. Because we as a team decided at that time that that would be the funniest way to react and to read them after 6 to 8 hours of being totally pummeled about the chat logs and read the chat logs and where's the chat logs, and we were just trying to wait for the edit to be done, and the editor didn't do the editing, and we ended up passing that off, I think, to Seven, and Seven edited that fairly well, if not perfectly. I don't remember exactly what video it was exactly, and which chat logs they actually were. But if I remember right, that was a video edited by Seven, and the chat logs were in those videos as well. So yeah, that was just basically, we thought it was a funny and a at 6 a.m. Cool way to do the chat logs. Read them like it's a story, and Jeff felt more comfortable doing it as a story if he did it with a voice. So, and I went, that'd be funny. So we did it. Meant no harm, meant no foul. People took it the wrong way, kind of like the Cam incident, I guess. Several other incidents that have happened throughout the community that people have taken the wrong way that eventually people got over. So no, some people don't think penguins are just funny. Some people just think saying penguins and posting penguin emojis is an easy way to poke fun at Casey and try to make him feel bad about the way he feels. But guess what? Casey doesn't give a fuck. Welcome to the internet. No, that's called welcome to fucking middle school. You want to do that bullshit? Go over there to that community where they actually do that bullshit. Don't come over here on this channel and do it. Thanks for asking. We didn't think it was bullying and an easy way to pick on somebody other than the chomophile that we went to. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't matter if they get sexual or not when they meet a minor on a dating app that has intentions for dating. That makes you a predator. So, no adult, unless they're out with an organization like Big Brother, Big Sister, and even sometimes that's not even legitimately cool. But when they're out with a community group like that, they're more like trying to talk to a child or mentor a child. There's a lot of excuses that are heard, but when they use that as an excuse and they're out there by themselves, no adult goes to meet a child by themselves that they don't know personally and haven't talked to and met personally in some way, shape, or form. So when you're talking to a child on any of the dating apps, and then you go, hey, let's meet up. Hey, let's go to the mall together. Hey, let's go such and such. that makes you a predator. And that makes you a part of the educational documentaries that are created. Thank you, NVCAP. Exactly. It does, but it won't be prosecutable. Does that mean that we shouldn't go out and do an educational documentary because they're not going to be prosecuted? We should go, oh, they're not going to be prosecuted, so we're not going to do nothing about this. I would rather them go out and make the video and expose them live, even if they don't get arrested. Because now, guess what? People now know that person is that way, and keep your fucking kids away from them. And that's the fucking point. So I would say I agree with you, NVCAP. Thank you for that. That was actually intelligent. Anybody else got anything intelligent to add? Jeez. NVCAP. Oh crap, I can't do it right now. I'll do it later. I was going to give you a wrench. Just because I don't have very many mods that pop into my stream very often anyway, because they've got lives. We didn't show up empty-handed. That's the funny thing. We've never shown up empty-handed to anything we've done. Just because we don't read the chat logs to you guys doesn't mean we don't have them. Doesn't mean we don't read them. Why call cops then if not prosecutable? Because it has to be an educational documentary with police presence. So, and if you let the cops know about it and the cops come out, they can at least investigate it, and maybe they go, well, you know what, you're talking to this minor, we want to see how you're talking to this minor, we want to see if you're talking to anybody else. So they get a search warrant for the phone, and they go through the phone and they find more evidence, and they end up charging them with stuff because of we called them. If the cops aren't called and made aware and given a chance to show up and at least question the subject of the educational documentary, then nothing will ever be done about it. There's a guarantee they're going to walk away scotch-free other than being exposed. The hope is that eventually law enforcement and government will change their mindset and start to make this type of thing a felony so that it is prosecutable. And they do go to jail. That's the goal in all of this, in all of that. And we have heard that exact thing, and we have taken that into consideration, and that is, I think, moving forward, the plan is that if it's not something we think will be or if it's not something they think will be prosecutable, they as in CPNI, if CPNI sees it as not being prosecutable, I think they're going to start titling it exposure instead of catch or whatever. You didn't wait for chat logs for 20 days or something like ridiculous. The ones that waited 20 days or something ridiculous, as you're putting, those were the ones that didn't watch the live. Not our fault. We were getting things gathered so that we could get them to police first, and we did. And then we finally released them. to the public. And then they were in the premiere as well. So they were released twice. No, Steph, you're probably right. That email probably wasn't out at the time. But we were already aware through other channels getting strikes and such that that community was getting a closer eye by YouTube and that things could be coming. So we wanted to try to get ahead of it. So we started to gear that way anyway. So once the email came out, that just verified what we thought. that put the nail on exactly what we and most people in the community kind of saw already coming for months. Some of us just chose to go about it before the email came out and start trying to change to that type of setup. Once the email came out, that's okay. Now we have to. We don't have a choice. It's not a thought now, it's a must. Not always, though. When you're looking at, especially Grinder's the worst. Sometimes them people won't talk very sexual at all right there. They'll hint and they'll whatnot, but they'll be like, well, let's meet. And they want to meet quick because they know it's a hookup app. And they think just because they didn't say it in text means they can't get in trouble for it. And sometimes they say enough that certain law enforcements in certain counties, certain cities, certain states would say, that's arrestable enough for us for now. Now we can at least get a warrant for the phone while we have him in custody. Go through the phone, him or it, whatever, phone, and look deeper into it and maybe find more. And then it's a definite prosecution. And again, 360 circle back. If we never call them to begin with, just because we think nothing can be done, we're not law enforcement. So we call them anyway. They decide, have the final say, whether something can be done or not. And even 99% of the time, even if something can't be done right away, they still get the information, name, date of birth, license plate, car make, model, color, year, address of subject, workplace of subject, and now subject is on their radar. And certain areas have teams, law enforcement teams, that do that as well. And when we put subjects on their radar, now they look into them and they may have had them on some chat site and said, well, you know what, that and this, that makes a full case. There we go. We got 2 cases now. Let's give them both of them. So even if they drop one, they got another still there that is prosecutable more than likely. At least that's my thought process on it. That YouTube email didn't take too many by surprise. At least not any of them that were any ones that were big and smart. They knew. They had seen some things on YouTube and it had been addressed that there would possibly be changes coming down the pipe. I'm pretty sure somebody addressed it at one point before the email. And then the email came out and it was addressed that, hey, now it's a have to. So and O.J. Simpson, no, I didn't. Exactly. There has to be a law put in place for prosecution, yes. And when you bring this type of thing to the attention of authorities and to the attention of the government, and you start petitions eventually, and you get enough signatures and you take them to the government office and present said petition, then they start talking about it and they may put a law into place. Again, action has to be taken in order for things to happen. If we take no action, then nothing can ever happen. If they were smart, meaning if they paid attention, if they were doing that on YouTube and paid attention to other groups doing that on YouTube and saw certain channels starting to get strikes for certain things, that right there was bringing more eyes to that community. So you had to know that with more eyes being on that community because that page got a strike, that meant YouTube was watching that page. YouTube knows they're a part of that community, most likely. They're going to start watching that community as a whole to see if there's not a bunch of them like that, because they look at that as bad for whatever reason because of the way it was being gone about by certain groups. Certain groups made it look bad on the community. That reflected as a whole on the community. So YouTube started watching the community. We knew that because more pred-catching groups started getting more and more strikes or videos removed or threats of that. So yes, if you paid attention and observed and took mental notes, then you knew that eventually something was coming. Maybe nobody knew it was coming as quick as it did. But they had to know in the back of their minds that it was coming to a point. That at some point in time, the YouTube pedo simps were going to make a move to make it harder for us, for that community. So, just saying, that's at least my view. No, I'm not using the YouTube email as a cover up for people being sloppy. No, because we weren't being sloppy. We were being careful because we were getting evidence to the cops. That's why we didn't release them to you guys. They were read in the live. Then they were not released until they were emailed over to police, and police confirmed they received them. The YouTube email situation that I'm speaking of is a separate situation totally. You're the one involving that with what I was talking about and mixing the two together. That is not what I was doing. Again, that's taking something said out of context and twisting it to make your own narrative, to make you feel better about yourself. That's fine. Go back to your community for that. This channel isn't about that. I'm addressing that because it was asked. So if you want to twist that context and twist that narrative, then you do what you want. And bye. Bye, Felicia. Felicia Gabby Girl PHI. Bye-bye. You don't have to stay. So get you. You're not worth getting because what you're saying makes no sense, Gabby. So if you're here to start drama, get the fuck out. Bye. Yeah, Damone, I said that on this channel because this channel is not that. And whether I'm involved with that community or not is not a part of this channel. Those two things are separate. This channel isn't involved with that community, with that stuff. And when I'm on this channel, I'm not involved with that. Bye bye, OJ. So, this channel is Internet Radio. It is KHLC Internet Radio Network. That's what I renamed my channel. That's what I revamped it to focus more on my internet radio station career. What I went to college for was radio broadcasting, mass communications, journalism, and sports broadcasting. So this channel is going to become more talk radio, podcast, interviews, things like that. That's what this channel is going to be about. I'm going to do interviews when I have a chance with people on here. I'm going to have other people who want to do talk radio shows come onto my YouTube and do a show. I have another sports talk show that I'm in talks with right now about getting him, even though he's just a college student and he's small time, he's nothing big. Getting him on here to do his talk show to help grow his show and give him more experience. It also gives a platform to be able to chat, kind of like Facebook. But it gives him an easier way, if he does it through StreamYard, to be able to chat if he does it on his computer like he does, to be able to chat with people who listen to his talk show and ask questions about his talk show. And he may or may not be on video. He does video on YouTube or on Facebook. So, but Damone, it's internet radio. It's eventually I am going to have a license at some point, hopefully, to be able to play music so that I don't get a YouTube copyright strike every time. But those licenses cost $1,000 each, and there's at least three different entities that I would have to pay yearly to be able to play any song I wanted to ever and not have to worry about being copywritten or copyright struck by YouTube. So there won't be a lot of music on this channel unless it's copyright free or I have permission from that artist. It might be a local artist, someone up and coming, not very big. I may play some of that music on this channel sometimes. I may come on, do a live, play some music, do a little bit of talking, play some more music. I may have an advertisement because I have a business that wants to advertise with me. Like that's what this channel is going to be about. No more pred catching talk, unless it's an interview. I may do an interview with a pred catcher sometime if they want to, but that'll be an interview about what they do, why they do it, how they got into it, blah, 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 you name it. Like, it'll be an interview. It'll be a professional interview. And it'll be me and just that person or that group up at the same time. There won't be any guests up. There won't be, if people have questions for them, they can ask them in the chat and keep it appropriate, keep it professional. So Are you still involved with that or no? That's neither here nor there. As I stated toward the beginning of my stream, my involvement or lack of involvement with CPNI moving forward will have no effect on CPNI business whatsoever. Me and Jeff have had discussions and have talked about things, and that will stay between us. We have agreements that we've made. We have discussions we've had. That's that. Well, I'm also the one talking, so I mean, is Howard Stern always professional, Gabby? That's why people do internet radio and do XM radio and satellite radio and Sirius radio and all them. And that's fine if I never get rid of you guys. All I ask is that when you come into my stream and you listen to my podcast, you listen to the talk show, whatever, that you keep the chat about that. If the chat is not about that and professional, again, my mods are there for a reason. They know to time out the first time and remove the second, ban the third. That's it. White Claw, I've addressed it the way I'm going to address it. So what I gotta say, I may or may not have more or less involvement moving forward. Now see, I pop off when people get fucking ridiculous and try to twist a narrative so that it fits what they want it to be. So the context is what they want it to be, not what it was actually. So you took something and totally made it out of context and came at me, so you got come at back. Can't take the heat, get the fuck out the kitchen. And 99% of the time, I am professional until stupidity rears its ugly head. My tolerance for stupid is zero. And that's why I revamped my channel, because being a talk radio podcasting style channel, I don't have to have a tolerance for stupid. When stupid rears its head, stupid can go somewhere else. Doesn't belong here on this channel at all. Yeah, actually it was, because it wasn't just about bullying. It was about bullying, body shaming, and twisting context to fit your narrative. And you did that. And it's seen. I'm leaving it alone. I'm not removing nothing that you say, because I want people who come back and watch to see exactly what you said versus what I said. What you said I said versus what I really said in real time. Come on, if you wish, I will. I will when I get on YouTube. I'm not on YouTube right now. I'm through StreamYard, so if that's honestly the way you feel and wish, then I will. Not a big deal at all. I have nothing against you. I like you. But this channel had to be revamped because I have some big things starting to happen with my business. And for me to be able to put those things on YouTube, I have to get rid of certain things on my channel per the agreement, per the discussions and the talks with those people. They said my channel had to be geared toward that so that and other things I do, the other things I do don't interfere with the algorithm of the internet talk radio style format, podcast style format, because YouTube's all about algorithm. So you stick to that algorithm and you start to get more views, you start to get more subscribers, your videos and podcasts start to get seen and heard more by more people. If I do that and then I throw in a live catch, it totally throws the YouTube algorithm off. And neither video gets very many views or very many subscribers added because of it. So whether I'm involved with that, there's your warning. Thank you for wishing me luck, Damone. I have no ill feelings at all towards you. But if you honestly want me to take your wrench, I will. Donnie, I don't even think you have a wrench, but if you do, yeah, it's definitely being taken. If you still got a wrench, yours should have been taken a long time ago. Because you're one at the beginning of the stream that I was actually talking about with some of your tactics. Gabby girl, I know you don't have a wrench. Again, I'm not on YouTube, so I can't prove that, but I'm pretty sure you don't have a wrench. Again, I'm not on YouTube, so I can't prove that. I'm not treating them like shit. They've treated me like shit for, I don't know what it's been now, months. So, I mean, I'm only reacting to what they've been doing for months. Barb, there's your warning. No, I'm not threatening people, Cat Eyes. Not at all. I simply made a statement and asked. Because I needed to address the way my channel was being revamped and geared towards, and asked a simple question that people come in and ask, or people come in and keep the chat about the stream itself. and not be disrespectful and not be bullying or body shaming, but to chat about what they're hearing in the stream, and said the first time it's seen in the chat, it will be timed out. The second time, it will be removed. The third time, you will be banned. That is the way my channel is going to be set up, because the chats are to be about what is on my channel, nothing else. The podcast, the A7FL's other side of the ball podcast that I do, that is what majority is going to be on my channel. That's the majority of what it's going to be, is that. No, Gabby twisted something that I said earlier, Damone, way out of context, and tried to make it out to seem like I said something I didn't say, so I addressed that as well, because that was something else that I wanted to address in the community anyway. And then she kept coming at me, so I told her if she didn't like it, she said she was leaving anyway, so I said, bye, Felicia, she can leave. It doesn't bother me if somebody wants to leave my stream because they don't like what they're hearing. They don't like the way I'm addressing something, that's fine. Again, cat eyes, go back and watch the stream, watch the live chat, watch where she said, watch what I said, listen closely to what I said, and then see what she said in the chat where she twisted the narrative. That's why she got called out. KP, I changed my name because I'm gearing it more towards internet radio, podcasting, broadcasting, interviews, and such. Nope. Absolutely not, because this is not a stream where people are going to come on. This was a stream for me to address doesn't matter what it would have been easier to do. I revamped this channel and renamed this channel. I may create another channel for that community over there eventually, maybe. I know where you're coming from, Cat Eyes, and I'm not meaning to get nasty with you. There's just been a lot of it in this chat, if you'll go back and watch, and you'll see why the irritation is there. I'm sorry. Not towards you. I like you, Cat Eyes. I have nothing against you at all. So, doesn't matter where Jeff is. Jeff's not here. And you don't even get a warning because you're imitating somebody that you're not. So, I simply said, keep the chat about what you hear on my streams from now on, please. And I thought I asked so pretty professionally and nicely. Said here, this is what this channel is. I even addressed that this channel is revamped and renamed to be internet radio, to be radio talk, to be da-da-da-da-da. And with the people that I'm talking to that may or may not get involved with this channel in the future, they want to see my chats geared towards what's being discussed in the stream, not body shaming, bullying, and other BS. If you want to do BS and drama, go somewhere else with it, please. No, NVCap Southwest 2, you did not get banned. Donnie, I've seen some things that you've said, and you've made the penguin remarks just about as much as Terrence has. If you really spoke highly of me, bro, you would have a wrench. And if you just troll me to troll me, that's one thing. But I addressed tonight that the penguin thing does kind of get to me. Because what you guys refer to, that is based off of a medical condition with my knees and ankles swelling up. So, but see, that's the thing. I can roast for a minute, time out the comment, remove the user, whatever, and keep it professional and move on. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I have mods. My mods are not here right now, evidently. Because if they were, I wouldn't be the only one removing comments. No, because here's the funny thing, Cat Eyes. I mean, I see what you're saying in that, but these people are doing it just to try to be funny and just to try to work me up. And yeah, cool, whatever. But I've also now got 33 people in here that are curious about what's going on. And we're also an hour and a half into the stream, and I didn't even think we'd make it to an hour. So, Bud, we can discuss it. If you send me a message on Instagram, you can find me by my name that's on the screen. It's that on Instagram, on Facebook, all that. No, now I want to. Now I have it in my voice that I want to fight. But when I started the stream, I absolutely was calm. Yes, it does kind of get me worked up. And body shape, yes, and recap, I addressed that at the beginning of the stream. Please feel free to go back and listen. Bill's cocaine stash, you'd never have a wrench, so that's fine. You're cool, Donnie. Appreciate that. And I hope you stick around and maybe try to bring people over to my new revamped channel of internet radio where I'll be doing interviews and podcasts, and other people will be doing talk shows stuff. So Mr. Belding, I don't want to fight, but some of these people in here evidently do. And that's fine. No, Donnie, I don't want to fight you. No, I never said I want to fight Donnie. Ever. Well, I don't want to fight, but the people in here, some of the people in here making comments want to. Well, see, Cat Eyes, I was trying to make this a happy stream and make this about me revamping my channel and how my channel was going to become successful, about podcasts and such, after I addressed the main issues that I thought needed to be addressed that made me feel certain ways and certain things that I would not tolerate on this channel. They're things that I don't like. They're things I'm not going to tolerate on my channel now that I've revamped it. That is that. Maybe. Again, that was discussed earlier. And my involvement moving forward may be more or less with CPNI, but it will have no effect on CPNI's business. So, Gabby, you never had a wrench. And I just got on my YouTube Envy Cap. You do have a wrench, so I thought you did, but I wasn't sure. Donnie, absolutely hit me up on Instagram. Name on screen is name on Instagram as well. And we can talk about that. Gabby girl, if you come into my streams and you respect them and you keep it about what the stream's about and you don't twist things out of context, then we can absolutely discuss it. Oh, but anyway, I just wanted to make it clear how I felt about certain things and that certain things will not be tolerated in my chats moving forward because of the way I am aiming my channel and gearing my channel now. So, and me timing out and banning the people that I banned tonight, that was more to show that I'm not joking when I say I'm not going to tolerate that. when there's a stream on my channel, it's about a certain topic, and the chat needs to be about that topic, not bullying, not body shaming, not making fun of people, not accusing people of false things, doxing people, none of that will be tolerated in this stream from now on. That's just, I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm just letting people know so that they don't come in here and wonder. So at least I let people know. Well, Damone, this is kind of a panel channel. It is a talk radio show channel, which is done in panel format through StreamYard to be on YouTube. So there is that. I actually, yes, back in, I believe it was May of this year, I was on, I believe, an ESPN affiliate radio station out of Las Vegas, Nevada, when I was broadcasting for the A7FL Nevada division from March to June. Well, I'm not dropping my link in this one because this one wasn't a stream for people to get up on. This was a stream for me to address some things and address the revamping and renaming of my channel, because I know a lot of people wondered what happened. Why did I change my name? Why all of a sudden did I remove CPNI from my name and put KHLC Internet Radio Network? Well, like I said, I got business paperwork on that name, so I used that name for my YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel is where I'm going to start my internet radio type of platform, where I'm going to start building that up and eventually launching it onto other platforms, like there's Broadcastify, there's Live 365, there's C3 Radio or Celsius 3 Radio or something like that. There's several different internet radio type hosting networks that you can use. I plan on eventually launching it onto that. And Liquid Death, there's yours. So yes, it was an AM, I believe it was an AM ESPN radio station that I was actually on broadcasting an A7FL Nevada game with a Las Vegas team. I believe one was out of versus a team out of California, and then the others was two out of Las Vegas. So why do I need to drop my link, Damone? Again, this wasn't a stream for people to get on. This was a stream for me to come and say what I needed to say and revamp my channel and make it known to everybody here. And now the video is there will be on YouTube for everybody to go and listen to and see, or hear anyway, that I have revamped my channel and the way my channel is going to be handled from now on. That was the point of the stream. Um, my audience can interact through the chat. Again, I'm not saying I won't do panels on this channel, but when I'm doing interviews with people, when I'm doing this one was a one-off address stream. If I come up again by myself like this, I will absolutely drop my link and let some people up, even if it is to talk shit for a minute. But we're going to try to keep it more talk show type. Like there will be a topic. And if you're going to come up onto the panel via the link, what you talk about on said panel should be about what the discussion is about. And I will title it specifically. Talk about, or talk about, whatever. You fill in the blanks there. Or let's discuss this, and then somebody can, and I'll bring people up. But it's got to be known right offhand that you come up, it's to be about that, not to address somebody in the comments for talking some shit. Like, they'll be handled. Inappropriate comments will be handled by the mods. The people on the stream or on the panel, whatever, need to focus on whatever the panel is supposed to be about, and not let the little shit in the chats even come up onto the panel, because whatever little shit's going on in the chat that isn't about the panel, that isn't about what the discussion's about, will be handled by the mods appropriately. So I'm not trying to take control of other people's channels. I'm not trying to be like too strong. Would I take advice regarding my personal style? I'd take it. Doesn't mean that I'm going to use it, but yeah, I'd take it. No, not really, Christine. If people weren't so childish sometimes, the rules wouldn't have to be, they wouldn't have to be spoken rules. They would be unspoken and everybody would just know. But people decide that they have to act like they're still in middle school and stir up drama and twist what people say and things like that. And I don't like that. So I've only actually I mean, I don't have any issues with her, so I don't really know her either. So nope. What you're hearing is a TV show in the background. Again, because this is just a basic stream where I addressed a few things and I never said she was a family friend. That never came out of my mouth. Jeff may have. I don't know. I can't speak for Jeff. I'm not Jeff. And I'm not always around Jeff, like I said. I just worked the state fair in New Mexico 8 of the 11 days. You want to guess why I had 3 days off? Because not this past, but the last Saturday night, I actually had a heat stroke. And it took me 3 days to recuperate. So I ended up having Monday, Tuesday off. And I worked a short shift on Wednesday and a short shift on Thursday before working full shifts again on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, yeah. I literally worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, yes, I do have a life and other things going on. As I've said before, I own the internet radio business. I also own a travel agency, something I've just recently started. Not real big on it right now. I'm not advertising big for it right now, but I will start. And then I'm also, with my internet radio business, I also do broadcasting for the A7FL Nevada division. And I also have a business partner out of Phoenix that does video production that I've gotten into as well. And we've partnered our businesses together because he does video production for sports. I do broadcasting for sports. Now we've kind of combined to one company and partnered together so that we can offer a bigger package to different types of sporting leagues and sporting professional wrestling, MMA, boxing. There's several different brands of it out there, like bare knuckle fighting championships is something that's out there that's kind of new. They've only been going for like 2 years. Those kind of amateur / professional is kind of where our specialty is. So that's what we do. No, not carnival operator, Jacob Silva. I worked a food truck at the state fair. And I did not say I was going to WrestleMania. I didn't say I was working with WWE. No. That's not. We don't try to go after those because they already have their own broadcasters. They have their own teams. The big names like that aren't what we're after. We're after the semi-pro, professional, amateur type leagues and events. You don't anymore. I didn't realize you did. So you don't. Thanks for pointing it out. No, I didn't say that either. Bare knuckle fighting championships. That's what that is. Think what you want. I don't care what you think, honestly, bad guy. Because all you like to do is convince people to get on your streams because it's going to be just you and them. and then bring up half a dozen people and then try to twist it to be something it wasn't. So, fuck you, bad guy. I don't care. Bye-bye. No, I'm not jealous of the bad guy. I absolutely hate the bad guy's tactics and the way he likes to twist narratives too, to fit what he wants it to be, so that people will come to his stream. Ooh, come to my stream because I'm interviewing such and such, and then bring up that's supposed to be just between them, and then bring up a dozen people. Whatever, doesn't matter. It's your channel, do it the way you want to. But that was coward. If anybody's a coward, that was cowardice to do that way. What you did to Jeff, that was coward. So it takes a coward to know a coward. Let's just put it that way. Nope, the bad guy shouldn't have ever had a wrench in my channel to begin with. So yeah, Jeff did hold his own. I give him credit for that. Sean Americana, you're very, very, very right with that. But you know what? It was still a coward move to do it the way it was done. I didn't tell him what to do with his channel. Gabby told him I'm not one to tell him what to do with his channel. But what he did was a coward move, and I didn't like it. So no, I'm not out of line, Damone. What was out of line is how that situation between Bad Guy and Jeff was handled. That was out of line. So I'm not going to speak on that anymore. And again, this is not a panel of somebody coming up for somebody to come up. Damone, if you want to panel it out with me about something, then we can do that another time. I'm not going to turn this into a all-out, panel it out stream. So I'm now 2 hours into my stream. I didn't even intend to go to an hour, but some things have happened and people decided to come in. So nope, you have not seen him because OJ got banned for going against what I had asked and my wishes. Well, you know what? You're here though, aren't you? Oh, and you know what? That one gets an automatic block because, again, using a name that they are not in their name. No, Southwest, there is no link. I told everybody I've told everybody nobody's coming up. This was my stream to address stuff. Want to keep getting out of hand, they'll keep getting timed out, they'll keep getting banned. So nope. Oh, and guess what? One of my mods just checked the channel, and that's not actually Southwest CPNI, so you get a block. Because again, you don't get to say you're somebody you're not and come in and start shit on my channel. That wasn't even Jeff, the bad guy. Jeff did finally come in. And if you see a Southwest CPNI now, that is Southwest CPNI because he was actually the one really in here lurking. I guess he was lurking. I didn't even know he was here. And he saw that person make the comment and sent me the message to ban him. So I did. Bad guy, you're a joke. If that's what you think, that's what you think. That's fine. Because you know what? As I've said before, honestly, I don't give a flying leap about what you think about me. Anybody who I have not met personally on here, I don't really give a flying leap what your personal feelings are towards me. I've revamped my channel to be what it is now, and that's the way it's going to be moving forward. Now you guys want to get fucking drama bullshitty, and I addressed what I needed to address, and I told those that needed to know that this stream was probably not going to be professional at all. It was actually professional for a little bit until y'all started the bullshit. So now, no, I'm not going to let anybody up, but you want to talk your shit in the chats, then I'll address your shit talk, and it'll be what it is. That's your... You know what? And in that, yep, because he's using Bill's name, he'll get a block. No, not Bud. I didn't block Bud. Why was Bud blocked? Who's rogue modding in here? I will go in and unblock you, Bud. I was trying to click Bill's cocaine stash, and I guess I clicked your name because you had a comment right above him. That's my fault. But please let Bud know Bud will be unbanned once I can get into YouTube and unban him. Yeah, but to say your name's Bill's cocaine stash, that's just using Bill's name, not being actually Bill. Because everybody knows actual Bill chats as Bill's, as pulling the strings. So, thank you, Damone. That's why I have mods in here. Because if I do accidentally hide somebody, they can be unhidden. I could not do it. Thank you, Damone. And unless Bill's cocaine stash is actually Bill's cocaine stash will be blocked. Why was Bill's cocaine stash unhidden? I hid him because he's using Bill's name and it's not Bill, so that's just going with if I'm going to ban somebody for using my name or using Southwest CPNI or any other name in here that wasn't actually them, then they would not be hidden. And no, we're not going to unhide Matt because Matt did not follow what I had asked. So Matt is blocked. Matt is banned. So again, he is not actually Bill. He is blocked. I don't know why you keep on hiding them. Why? Tell me why, Damone. Donnie, no, I did not. I sent a cheek picture. That was it. Cheek. I don't care if he needs a stash. He can change his name to Cocaine Stash and be fine. But if he keeps commenting as Bill's Cocaine Stash, he's going to be blocked because he is potentially perpetrating that he is Bill and could say some stuff as Bill and people think it's Bill and it not be Bill. And I'm not about the drama and the bullshit, which is why I revamped this channel, which is why I'm not going to allow that in here anymore. If you want to come in here and chat, come in here and chat with any other username other than somebody else's who you know is not you. I didn't get kicked out of CPNI, bad guy. I addressed that. I had a discussion with Jeff. I've revamped my channel to be internet radio, talk show radio, sports radio, geared more. And that my future involvement or lack of will have no effect on CPNI business. That does not mean I'm not a part of CPNI. It doesn't mean I am. Take it as you want it. But it was not a kick out. I didn't get kicked out. No, bad guy. I didn't get kicked out at all. I didn't. Point blank, period, I didn't. Because while that may be your opinion about me, and I don't give a damn about it, I'm not the best camera person because I never intended to be a camera person. At least not a professional camera person. But there are other things that I do for CPNI that I am very good at, that if it wasn't for me, wouldn't get done at all. I didn't get booted from CPNI. Let's make that clear. I didn't get booted from CPNI. There is a mutual agreement that I am focusing more on my internet radio station, and that I may or may not have more or less involvement with the CPNI group in the future. But my involvement with them has no effect on what they do in the future. I didn't send the chocolate starfish wrestler's mom. CPNI did not boot me, WPG Freedom. Please, stop. No, I did not send a whole ass pic to a predator. I sent a cheek, one cheek. Get the fuck out of here. I didn't get replaced by 7. Let's make that very clear. Since that's what you want to think. I didn't get replaced by 7. Exactly. 7 was with Jeff before me. So I didn't get replaced. 7 decided he wanted to help out again and made clear what his role, he wanted his role to be. So that role has been handed to 7. Bottom line. I did not get NT Tech, and that's the other thing. Like I'm not removed, I'm not kicked out, I'm not booted. And Tech, I heard some of the shit you said about me too, so okay. You know what? Damone, you asked me to do it earlier, and I didn't want to do it, but I'm removing you from moderator for now, because you keep unhiding people that I hide for reasons. So if you're not going to moderate with my wishes, and you're going to reverse everything I do, then your wrench is removed. And that goes for any of the moderators in here. That wasn't aimed just at Damone. Again, like I said, bye-bye. See ya. Kenzie, I doubt that, because I've heard some of the shit you said about me too, so don't even. You were one of the ones that started the penguin bullshit. Glad you finally showed up. Again, Damone, I have nothing against you, but if you're gonna unhide everybody that I hide, then you have no need to have a wrench. Yep, and you're not getting a mod. Sorry. Nope. I didn't get removed from CPNI, WPG. So, again, you keep on a false narrative. I said what I said. My involvement or lack of involvement, meaning not being as involved as I have been in the past, will not affect future CPNI business. Does not mean I'm out of CPNI. Doesn't mean I got booted. Doesn't mean I got kicked out. Doesn't mean I got fired. How can I get fired? I don't even get paid for it. It's a hobby. Until you actually start getting paid for something, it's a hobby or a pastime. Something you do to pass time by. Yeah, me girl, I don't know if I trust that. We'll have to have an actual discussion through Instagram before that happens. Hobby may not have been the right word, Kinsey. Shoot me. But it's not something I do and get paid for, so what else would it be? You mean you hate me, Tech? Okay, yeah, it's that too. That'd be the right word to use, but I just threw a word out there. I don't get paid for it. So yeah, it's a hobby and a passion to save kids, but I don't get paid for it. I don't I have other jobs and other things to do, so I can't catch 24/7. I don't I or CPNI do not have 3 to 5 to 10 decoys working for us. And they do it all themselves. So we don't have catches every day. We don't have catches every week. We may not have catches every month. It's just sometimes that's the way shit happens because guess what? Some of these decoys have to talk for months and months and months to people before they get them to meet and get them to get sexual. Guess what? If we're decoying it by ourselves and we only focus on 1 or 2 people or 3 people so that we keep our conversations straight and don't get mixed up, then guess what? If those people don't, there's nothing there to expose because they don't even want to meet. They're just talking and talking and talking, but they're not getting sexual. They're not asking to meet up. It may be months before we have somebody meet up, but that's because we or they decoy it themselves. No, and see, and that's where you say y'all had 6 catches in a year. You remember, right? The first catch that Jeff had that ran away from Target or whatever, that was Southwest, EnvyCap Southwest, with the EnvyCap name. That was literally Jeff and 7. Okay. I showed up and became a part of the team in May. Since May, we've had 5 additional. So about 1 a month. Average. And guess what? That's decoying it by ourselves, not with decoys working with us. Yes, at one point, Kai Bella had somebody on the hook that we were supposed to go get, and then they backed out. They got scared. Whatever happened there. We don't know. All we know is we didn't get that one for whatever reason. But that one was one that was planned and was being talked about and being worked on, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. But other than that, we've really had no decoys work for us. May have had somebody play a live decoy, but nobody's actually done phone decoying for us or for CPNI. Tech, if you have questions and you want to talk to me, you can hit my Instagram with your real account so that I know it's you, just as it appears on the screen here. Capital K, capital C, space COX. Tonight, I'm not letting anybody on this panel. It's not. I know I'm actually pretty amazed too. I never intended to even go this long tonight. 2.5 hours, I think, is the longest I've went on a panel myself to talk about something. We went an hour and a half on the A7FL Other Side of the Balls podcast, which can be heard on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Episode 1 of that can be, as well as the A7FL 3-on-1 podcast that has now 9 episodes up, can be heard on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. Please, again, feel free to go over there and check those out. Follow those, like those, rate them 5 stars. Those are the main platforms for those. The A7FL's Other Side of the Ball podcast that I do with my partner, Derek Duncan. Broadcast partner there. That's on Apple and Spotify on Fridays. The 3-on-1 podcast is on Wednesdays. And then the Other Side of the Ball podcast is premiered here on Monday mornings as kind of a review / discuss the podcast, ask any questions that you may have about the podcast if you went and listened to it on Friday, talking specifically about the A7FL's Other Side of the Ball podcast. If you listen to that podcast on Fridays on Spotify or Apple, and you have questions about that podcast that you want to ask, I premiere it on Mondays on YouTube so that it can be heard again and heard by more people, and more people can be directed to the podcast, the main platforms, and also can ask questions about said podcast as well and get those questions answered right here in the chats. So I do not do NPR. I may start talking some politics, though. Maybe. That might be something that actually is a video on this channel. I'll have to see what kind of permission I get. But September 24th, I am headed to Texas to a national political party convention and launch. It's a third party developing here in the United States. So, yep, I'll be in Houston, Texas, the 24th, and I may go live while I'm there to it's a national political party getting ready to launch as a third party in the United States, trying to change the way politics are done in the United States. And I'm going to be there for the launch, the official launch of said party. It's funny you ask right wing, left wing, because I'm not either, really. I consider myself independent until this new party came out. Now I consider myself part of this new party. Nope, not libertarian. Yes, Tech, you can ask me questions in IGDMs. I don't mind. No, not libertarian Ian Burwell, no. Very, very new party. I'm sure if you look it up, it's been in the media. It was mentioned in mainstream media numerous times. They've already got over like 80,000 or maybe, I don't know. I don't want to misspeak, but something. They have some, for being a political party like 2 weeks in, a new political party 2 weeks in, they had like 80,000 grassroots followers. Nope. Tommy sees cat. That's not what will happen. What will happen is this party will actually start winning presidential nominations and will topple what we know as the Democratic and Republican parties, because they are both full of demons and devils and propagandists and pedophiles and all kinds of bad things that are happening in politics. This new party is 100% better. No. Nope. If y'all actually, any of you guys actually follow politics, you know the party I'm talking about. And you know who formed said party. So. Nope. Look it up. Google it real quick. Legitimate third party in the United States. Newly formed third party in the United States. Maybe is the best way to. I don't know if you're asking if this party is big government or small, but this party really isn't government. This party is about the people. Moving the country forward in a way that works for us, the people of the country, not just the politicians and the millionaires, billionaires, and rich folks. Yeah, there's. Nope, not xenophobic communism either. Okay, I'll go ahead and drop the name because I don't think I'm going to get in any trouble for it. I'm going to the Forward Party convention and launch, official launch, in Houston, Texas. If you look up the Forward Party and you look at their platform, what they're about, the things that they're going to try to do, it may actually be something that you guys are more for than you realize. The guy that helped create and was the mind behind this party, in forming this party, ran as a Democratic nominee in the 2016 election, but was silenced at every turn by the Democrats and silenced at every turn by mainstream media. Even his picture wasn't shown when he was a debate candidate. Instead, all they showed was a silhouette that you could tell, a black silhouette that you could tell was him, but they wouldn't show his picture because they were trying to silence him and remove him, because even mainstream media realized how big of a threat to the current system that isn't working for the American people he is. And even mainstream media doesn't want politics to work for the American people, because the people who run the mainstream media companies are millionaires and billionaires and get tax cuts and tax write-offs and money in their back pockets from politicians, and they're putting money in politicians' back pockets. And so, and this third party is not about any of that. And the third party wants to extinguish all that and get this government working for the average American person again, so that you're not struggling to pay rent, not struggling to pay your car payment, not struggling to pay insurance, not struggling to put food on the table, not struggling to do a lot of things that, I'm sorry, but in the past 15, 20 years, no president has been able to do anything good for us. This government hasn't worked for the people of the United States since well before my time. I was born in 1990, and the last president that did something good for the American people, that didn't have some type of divisive propagandic bullshit behind it, was long before my time. That's what the silhouette was, Damone. It was a black silhouette. It was or they claimed they didn't have a picture of him, so they put a cutout, black cutout of him up, but he's not even black. He's Asian American, born in the United States, entrepreneur, wrote several books, or at least wrote one book, does a podcast, has since December of 2019, I believe, is when he officially launched his podcast. Well, I moved on to politics because I wanted to. This is going along with it being radio. Newly reinvented channel is about internet radio. Guess what? It's getting that season of elections. So, guess what? Politics is an appropriate subject for a radio station or a talk show. So, that's why we talked politics for a minute. Yes, the Forward Party is launching September 24th in Houston, Texas, at a convention. They had to move the convention to a bigger center, bigger convention area, bigger convention center, whatever it is called, to host this, because they've had so many RSVPs to it already that the original place they were going to have it at didn't have enough occupancy to hold everybody. So they found a bigger venue and moved it to the bigger venue where they know they will be able to hold everybody. So and I'm not going to block you now because you're not using the name. You said who shall not be named, Cocaine Stash. That's fine. You're not claiming that you're somebody you're not. So no, I'm not too cool to drop a link. This was just not a stream intended for links to be dropped and people to come up on. This was me to address some things, and again, at the end of it was to make everybody aware that the reason my name changed, because there had been questions being asked, why did you drop CPNI off your name? Why did Casey get rid of the CPNI out of his name? Why is Casey's channel this now? What does this mean for Casey's channel? So guess what? I wanted to finally give that an answer. I literally worked 8 out of the last 11 days, and only 8 out of the last 11 because I had a heat stroke. So yesterday being day 11, I worked 8. That was my 8th day of work. I worked 8 days of 11 days of the state fair. Made very good money, but also worked a lot of hours. I literally did not get home last night until 1 or 1:30 in the morning. This is literally the first day I've had off, other than the 3 days I had off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or no, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of this past week, so that I could recuperate from the heat stroke I had Saturday evening at the state fair. No, I'm not a carny Damone. Yes, it is hot. And I was in a food truck, so guess what? Even though it was only 87 or 88 degrees outside with 12% humidity, and it said it felt like it was 89 being up here and out in the desert. It feels like 89 feels like 110 because I'm from Oklahoma. I was in a food truck with 6 fryers constantly going at 350 to 400 degrees. So even with an air conditioner in that food truck, the food truck felt like 125, 130, 135 at the coolest point. Couldn't drink enough water quick enough. That's how fast I was sweating. As fast as I was drinking water, it was sweating out of me faster than I was drinking it. And I ended up Saturday night. That's why I ended up having a heat stroke. And got way too dehydrated too quick. Went in and tried to pull a 12-hour shift in the heat. And I made it to hour 11 and had a stroke. Literally had a heat stroke and had to get sent home, helped out of the fairgrounds and into the car so that my wife could take me to get checked out the next morning because I was too tired and too exhausted and didn't realize it was a stroke because I'd had them before. I felt I knew that it was a heat stroke, but I was also very, very tired, had a headache, didn't want to deal with people. So I said, just take me home. I'll rest. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. Didn't feel better the next day and got taken to the urgent care. So I missed that day of work, and then they gave me the next 2 off. Missed Sunday because went to the emergency room, and then they gave me Monday, Tuesday off just to recuperate, and then I worked short shifts Wednesday, Thursday, and then worked full shifts Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Well, I say Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. I worked from 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So 10 and 11-hour shifts. No, actually, it wasn't embarrassing because everybody there knew I was in that trailer cooking food. They're more worried about whether I was okay or not. Heat stroke, yes. Heat-related illness. I actually had 3 days off. I was supposed to go back into work Sunday, but told them I went to the hospital instead because I was not feeling any better and was actually probably feeling worse. Then I texted them and said, hey, do you want me to come in today? That was on Monday. They said, no, take the day off. Rest. So then Tuesday, I messaged them again and said, hey, what time do you want me to come in today? I'm ready to come back to work. And they said, no, take the day off and rest. And then Wednesday, they eased me back into the job and worked me a short shift, like 5 hours. And then Thursday, worked me another 5 or 6 hours. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the last 3 days of the fair, was the big push of 10 to 12-hour days. Yes, it was the state fair, Tech. It was the state fair. I worked a local food truck out of this area of New Mexico that set up at the state fair. They needed help. I went in and talked to them. We clicked the way I told them that I would help run things. They asked me, if we put you here, what are you going to do? And I told them, and I explained that I was going to do this, that, and the other. And they said, okay, well, we like it. You have experience. It was funnel cakes, ribbon fries, curly fries. Sorry, I didn't see the first time you asked them on, but yeah. Funnel cakes, curly fries, ribbon fries, nachos, chicken strips, French fries, regular straight cut French fries. I think we did churros, corn dogs, the big, like, 18-inch state fair corn dogs. I'm like, oh, I got hella food for free. That was the upside of working. Not only did I make money working, but I also got anything I wanted. If I wanted a funnel cake, I ate it. If I wanted a thing of fries, I took a break and I ate it. If I wanted to eat a corn dog, I stepped outside real quick and scarfed down a corn dog. Yeah, if I wanted to take food home with me at the end of the night, all I had to do was fry it up before we shut the fryers off and keep it warm. And then when I left, food came home with me and everybody ate. Wrestler's mom, I kind of do have a steady job. I run my internet radio business, which is kind of steady at times. It's been a little slower here lately. I also run my travel agency that I haven't advertised for a lot here lately because I've been focusing more on the internet radio. And so those are my jobs. But yes, I do. I'm not a carny, but I do work different events in different capacities. There are times when I go to NFL football games and I work as a beer vendor, walking the stadium seats, all them steps, walking up and down them, selling beer in the stands. Yep, that's me. There's other times when I go to concerts, or like I went to the burning of the Zozobra in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I worked that as a security guard, checking people in, checking bags, making sure people didn't have weapons. So yeah, I've done concerts as stagehands where I help tear down the stage and load it after the concert. So yes, I work events. That's what I do. I like to work events. I've worked events where I've sold merch at like 5K runs and dances and things like that. Like there's all kinds of things I do. Terrence, bye-bye. I'll block you. I'll time you out this time. But next time, you will get the ban, my boy. There. I've never been assaulted by a beer vendor. I vend beer. I sell beer at events, so I wouldn't get assaulted by one. But I have seen a beer vendor get assaulted, yes, by a fan. I never had any KC CPNI t-shirts anyway, and they didn't kick me out, so because I've made the statement already, and it can be listened to in the beginning of the stream. Bananas, penguins, disrespect, body shaming, bullying, not gonna be tolerated because the way I'm gearing my channel, chat has to remain towards what the discussion is, what the panel is about, what the radio show, talk show, sports show, whatever it is, what it's about is what the chat needs to be about in order for it to grow the way I want it to. And if I'm going to grow it the way I want it to and build it to eventually being, yes, the goal is not just so I can make money, but yes, the goal is to get this channel monetized as an internet radio station, so that provides me a stream of income, so that I can maybe then have enough within everything that I'm doing with the radio to launch this onto an actual internet radio platform that is meant for playing music, talk radio, sports radio, political radio, whatever, and also have it here and have two platforms. Like people use Facebook and they use YouTube, or they use Twitch and they use YouTube, or they use Twitch and Facebook, or they use TikTok and Twitch, or TikTok and YouTube, or any combination of any of them. You name it. The point is, the more platforms you have when you're trying to build a business like I actually am, the better you are, because the more sources of income you can have coming in. Because YouTube monetizes with ad share. Guess what? There's internet radio platforms out there that also monetize with ad share revenue, and have two ad share revenues to make money off of. That may finally allow me to build another team, to hire another broadcast crew to go out and broadcast another set of games somewhere else for another league. Like if I'm doing a game on a Sunday for football for the A7FL in Vegas, but I also have a, say, semi-pro basketball league that needs a game covered in Houston, Texas. I'm just throwing names out there right now. On Monday morning or Monday afternoon, I'm not going to be able to make it Vegas to Houston. By the time I get done in Vegas at 4, 5, 6 p.m. Sunday evening and make it to Houston by noon Monday morning, noon Monday afternoon, so I can set up and do that broadcast. So then I may have to hire another team to go out and broadcast that. But those broadcasts will also have advertising sold for them. So I'll go out and be like, hey, I broadcast for the A7FL Nevada. We're trying to find sponsors. If you pay X amount of dollars and agree to X amount of dollars, then we will guarantee your business name gets heard at least once during the game, and we'll cut you a 30-second ad, and that 30-second ad will get heard 3 times per game. So your name will get heard 4 times total for X amount of dollars. And you agree to pay that, your business has an advertisement. Guess what? We have ad revenue. We have revenue that pays us and be able to pay other people. So it's all business, and that's what this is. This is going to be a business. It's what I planned for this to be. I have the business paperwork for this. That's why I renamed my channel what I did. Because I don't like to play football, but I love to broadcast football. I'm a sports broadcaster. That's what I do. That's my passion. What am I talking about? I'm talking about my channel and how it's being built into a business, because I have a internet radio business and YouTube is the platform I'm launching that business on. So, yep. Just respect my wishes and you'll stay cheesy, but I don't think I'll ban you anyway tonight, because I'm getting ready to get off of here. It's literally 1 a.m. my time almost. In literally another 5 minutes, and I'm going to get off here in just a few minutes. I can guide you to a channel where you can actually hear some of my play calling. Pretty sure if you go to A7FL Nevada on Facebook, or on YouTube, I'm sure you will hear my voice alongside Derek Duncan, the division owner, calling play-by-play for the A7FL Nevada. That's me, play-by-play. Derek Duncan was my color commentator. He is also the division owner. I didn't ban the bad guy. Nope. May have timed him out once, but I don't believe I banned him. Oh, somebody finally went and looked it up, huh? Tommy C's cat. You finally went and looked up the party that I was talking about and figured out who it was. Good for you. Oh, so 3 more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down so I can go to bed. I've been getting to bed about this time, or later than this, every night anyway, so. And that'll give me a good 3-hour stream, so. That'll be some decent watch hours as well. I'm not going to pull no BS and BS about it. Like, I came on here to address some things and get some watch hours to get my watch hours up. I didn't plan to do more than a 30-minute stream just to get a few hours of watch time up, maybe. But then people started flooding in, and I decided, you know what? If I do a 2 or 3 hour stream, then that'll be fine. And we can address some things, and I can, and that's a, think it's funny or don't, I don't care, but it's also given me more time to time out and ban the people that are going against what I have said I want my channel to be, and how I want my channel to be ran, how I want the chats to be. I understand I can't control anybody. I understand that. But at the same time, I can ask that chats be kept to what the subject of what the topic of discussion is, and not about any other bullshit. Or that bullshit will be timed out, removed, and then banned if seen 3 times. And you know what? I could actually probably do that. Let me pull up one of my mock businesses that I'm going to start using for advertising right now just to get the sound out there. Give me just a minute. Because when I go into broadcast mode anyway, it's trying to find it. Let's see. This is an actual business. Here. So an advertisement, if it was a paid advertisement for something like, say, say this broadcast, this talk show, this whatever, would be, I'm trying to find the right information. For this company, I'm waiting for it to load. This broadcast brought to you by Decolights Inc. Decolights, leader in a retrofit and remodeled business specializing in custom fixture replacement for facility energy and maintenance savings. Most people are aware of the energy savings produced with light bulbs or lamps and motion sensors, which represent as well. But as Decolights Inc., we do take things a step further by offering full-scale energy audits for all building types, custom fixtures for special applications, EPACT, lead, and utility rebate, consultation, application, and assistance. We will provide a comprehensive money and energy saving strategy. Decolights, Nevada. Something like that. That was just some quick information that popped up on them. Or it could be this too. I'll give you a few of them. This broadcast brought to you by Green Guys, Sustainable Landscape and Lighting. We have a solution for all your landscaping needs. Do you consider how well your landscaping integrates with the natural habitat of your area? Has your home or business found harmony with nature? Flowers are nature's paint. Make your landscape expressive, beautiful, and captivating with the right selection of flora, and help the environment in the process. The landscaping of your home and business says a lot about you. If you want yours to say something as unique as you are, we have troves of beauties. For all your landscaping needs, please contact Green Guys Landscaping and Lawn Care, Sustainable Landscaping and Lighting Solutions. So, and those are just one-offs. I actually do recordings of those, and I do background music and make them out into a full, what you would hear on the radio advertisement. So, again, that was just going off of something I found on their website just to give you an idea of what it would sound like. That's not even an actual ad. So, actually, no, I make pretty good money. I make pretty good money doing broadcasting. Again, that was a one-off read that I literally popped up and didn't even look at before I read it. I just started reading from what I saw on the website, and just to give you an idea, like, you want a real advertisement? I can send a real advertisement. I can send a real play-by-play call that I did. This is what I do. That's why this is what my channel is. So, but with that being said, I think I'm going to wrap this stream up. Thank everybody for being here. Please hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already. Thank you, Haystack. That was from the hip, exactly. No script or any guidance. That was just somebody said, here, give me an example of an ad. So I popped up 2 websites of some businesses that I'm going to be using to do mock ads for to sell ads, to sell my advertising. And those are two I'm working on actually creating. That was just, I popped up their website and read what was on their website to you real quick in an advertising voice so that you could hear it. I don't want to get rid of you guys. That's not the point. It's not the point of revamping the channel. I mean, if you actually wanted an ad for that, yes, but I would charge for it. You can hit me up on my Instagram and we can discuss that. I know you're joking, but I'm just saying. Like, seriously, if anybody has a legitimate business they want an advertisement built for, I do charge for it. But I am willing to build advertisements for people's businesses. And again, I write things down about the business and then write it out into a script. I then record it and re-record it and re-record it and re-record it and re-record it until I feel it is perfect. And then I find a music that goes with it and lay a copyright-free music, just instrumental underneath, and then mix it together into one file. And it's the voice ad with the music in the background. Sounds professional. I send it, take that and email that over to the client, let the client hear it. If they say, yep, sounds good, then cool. It's a good deal. And hey, guess what? It took me an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to do it. Cat eyes, I do listen to what you have to say, though. That's a thing. I was running after the pred holding my camera up. That's what I was doing. Cat eyes, what have I done wrong to you today? I haven't been rude. I have nothing against you. So I'm just ignoring that stuff. Kenzie, if you feel like you need to unsubscribe from me because of that, then you can. But no, I don't think you need to. I would love if you guys would actually stick around and follow some of the things that happen on my channel. I think that some of them you may be actually very interested in. And maybe you'll get behind what I'm doing. Maybe right now you don't feel it because this was originally a pred catching, as we call it, channel, but it was actually only going to be maybe a pred catching decoy and chat log channel. I then started getting serious with my business and had talks with business partners and people who might want to partner with me in the future, and said, well, if you're going to use YouTube, we've been seeing what's going on YouTube on your channel and channels connected with you. So we feel this, and this need to happen if we're going to become involved with it at any time in the future. And I said, okay, I'll take that into consideration. I sat down, I thought about it, had some discussions with Jeff, and he said, it's your channel, do what you want with it, basically. He actually offered his, whatever you want to call it, his opinion on it, and said maybe just create another channel for that. I said, well, I already have one with 178 followers. I haven't done a whole lot of pred catching type stuff on that channel already anyway, so I don't think it's going to hurt the channel to revamp it. So I'm just going to revamp this one to be internet radio. And if I decide to create a channel for decoying and chat logs and things like that. In the future, I will. That was part of the discussion me and Jeff had. And he said, okay, do what you want. It's your channel. Yeah, it's my channel. I'll do what I want with it. I had that discussion with him so that he wasn't thrown off by things that started happening on my channel and wondering, wait, what's going on here? And that's why I came on tonight to address it, so that the 178 or 174 or whatever it is subscribers that I had could have an understanding of why I changed my name on my channel and what my channel was going to be from here on out. So, you know what, TC? Goodbye. Done with it. And the bad guy, you've also done panels out the ass too. And so, and other things. Like, I haven't done a whole lot with my channel. The most I did with my channel was when I went to Santa Monica with the family for vacation. That was it. Now I'm starting to do stuff with my channel the way I want to do stuff with my channel. And that's why I went live tonight, to tell you guys why my name changed. Not that I got kicked out of CPNI, not that I stepped away from CPNI, just that I may or may not be more or less involved with CPNI in the future, but that my involvement has no direct effect in CPNI's business. I am not CPNI by myself. Let's make that clear. CPNI is not one person by itself. CPNI is a team. My involvement with said team, or lack of involvement with said team, from here on out is neither here nor there. It is just not going to be a part of this channel for the last time. So, this is going to be podcast, talk show, radio show, sports talk shows, political talk maybe, and other talk subjects that I want to talk about. And yes, sometimes there will be panels on this channel, and I will bring people up, and there will be an interview with somebody, and me and that person will sit and talk and have a discussion and have an interview. I may have a one-off like this again where I decide I want to talk about something, but I will actually drop a link and let somebody up, as long as what they are talking about is subject related. That's it. I did one live catch on this channel, bad guy. Don't try to twist the narrative, buddy. Go look at my fucking videos. I have one live catch on this channel. One live. The video of Darren wasn't a live catch. That was my angle recorded. I only had one live catch that I did on this channel. And that was also done on Southwest CPNI too. So, again, that wasn't meant to help grow my channel. That was just to kind of get me some hours and get me in the algorithm a little bit. That was all that was. That wasn't... What I'm doing now from here on is to build subscribership for people who like to hear talk radio, sports radio, sporting events, live broadcasts, sports talk, political talk, what you would hear on a radio station, I'm doing here. I'm just doing it on the internet. Actually, bad guy people do go look at my videos. I've had tons of views on my videos. For having 178 subscribers, most of my videos are right around 100 views or more. So, get your weak ass out of here with the bullshit. Yes, Cat Eyes, I banned Terrence because I said it in my stream earlier. Penguins, bananas, in any way meant to be disrespectful, which I know Terrence is because he's just a fucking dickwad who thinks he's some big shit in this community when he's not. So, yes, I banned him. Banned him because he kept, oh, you can make a cooking channel and teach them how to cook bananas. You're being racist and you're being disrespectful. Bananas is a word used for subs in Asia, I guess. I don't know. In the Philippines. I don't know. That's what I've heard. Not my business because I'm not involved with that bullshit. We're not involved with that bullshit. So Terrence got banned because he's bringing bullshit into the fucking, and I'm proving tonight. That's why I've kept on live stream for 3 hours because it just gives me more and more opportunity to show everybody in here. If you do something that I have addressed in this video, in this panel, in this StreamYard, in this whatever you want to call it, in this discussion, in my live, if it is done in my chats from here on out, it will be timed out the first time, removed the second time, banned the third time. No warnings. This is the warning. Jeff is Jeff. My name is Casey Cox. I am not Jeff. I am not going to speak for Jeff. I don't have to explain for Jeff. Jeff is not my responsibility. I am not Jeff's babysitter. I'm not Jeff's home health nurse. Or whatever the hell you guys want to think I may be. I'm not Jeff's bodyguard. I'm not his publicist. I'm not his spokesperson. I don't speak for Jeff. If you have a question, ask Jeff. Don't ask me, because I'm not going to address anything asked about Jeff. Because Jeff is Jeff, and Jeff is an adult, and Jeff can answer for Jeff. Don't know if I can make that any more clear. So, wait a minute. So, CUWPG, because you're being a fucking douche. You're just doing it to try to do it to see. So, yeah, there you go. And there you go. And there you go. I know they're doing it on purpose, waterboarding, but I'm just showing that this is what this channel is. So, yeah, because Bud has been kind of respectful throughout the night. Hey, Stack Sniper, you know what? Send me a message on Instagram because I may just do that just to irritate people. I don't. But you guys use it as a racist term, so I will not deal with it here. Nope, Tech, they want to keep playing games. They're going to see exactly what's going to happen in the future on my channel. Because I want to talk to people. I want to get to know them. I want to make sure they're going to actually abide by my wishes and mod the way I want it modded and not undo something that I do if I do it. My channel, if I ban them, block them, time them out, they don't get unbanned, unblocked, untimed out just because you have a wrench. You know what? I don't even give a fuck. Fuck you, dude. Jesus. Why, Tech, that YouTube bot doesn't work. I know people who have tried to use that new YouTube bot to be stricter on the language or whatever, and it doesn't work. It's a joke. Something YouTube needs to do away with because it doesn't work. You put things in there to block and ban so that it's automatically hidden, removed, so you don't have to mod it, and people go in and still blow it up with that, and they still, it doesn't get blocked, it doesn't get banned, it doesn't get removed, it gets seen. So something about a language thing is the only thing I've heard. I don't know of anything else. If there's anything else, then please let me know, Tech, and I'll look into it. But the one I heard about was strictening on language to restrict certain words and things like that, and you could plug it into the bot, and if it gets seen on your channel, it gets banned, or it gets blocked, or it gets removed, or it gets whatever. It doesn't get seen. So all right, I think I've went 3 hours and 22 minutes. I've explained my channel more than once and addressed some issues more than once. And some motherfuckers still want to be childish, full of drama, like they're still in fucking high school and not an adult out of high school. So I'm just going to block you because I don't even fucking like you. Fucking Billy boy. Fucking ban your stupid ass. Yeah, childish. Because people in the chats are doing shit intentionally just to be fucking childish and starting some bullshit. So, yeah. You know what? There you go. You can get a timeout too there, Wolfpack. Since you want to be childish, you'll get put in timeout like I do my 7-year-old when he acts out. Jesus fucking Christ. Come on now, people. I'm going to end this live stream before I get too fucking irritated with you guys. You motherfuckers don't care. If you don't care, unsubscribe. Cool, whatever. This is an internet radio station. The chat will be about what is on my stream, or your comment will be removed, timed out, and then you will be banned. Those are your 3 warnings, because your warning was shot right here, live, more than once. Ed, you are totally safe here. I do not have a problem with you at all. This is an internet radio station channel. It is being revamped and re-geared toward internet radio, talk radio, sports radio, political radio, whatever you want to call it, radio station. It's going to be radio format, podcast format from here on out. I hope people will stick around. But if they don't, because it's no longer going to be pred catching involved, then so be it. It's just what it is. Bye-bye, Gabby. You got blocked. Now I'm banning you. Bye bye. Fuckhead. Get out of here. Linda Moan, that's because I don't give a fuck. My give a shitter broke years ago. I tried to act like I had to give a shitter when I joined CPNI and that I gave a shit what anybody on YouTube had to say about me. I really don't. I don't. I don't think about people on YouTube on a daily basis. I don't. I don't think about them all day, every day like you guys think about Jeff all day, every day. Swear every stream I go into, I see Jeff this, Jeff that, Joff, Jeff. Where's Jeff? Jeff, you gonna come on this panel? Jeff, you gonna come on this panel? Jeff, you need to come up and talk. Jeff, you need to da. Like, you guys care more about Jeff than you worry about Jeff and what Jeff does more than I think Jeff worries about himself sometimes. It's easy. Like, my God, it's either Jeff or Thal. Jeff or Thal. Joff or Thal. Whatever. Like, you guys care more and dig more into their daily lives than they do their own daily lives. And nitpick at every fucking thing they say more than their fucking parents did when they were kids. It's ridiculous. And it's bullshit. And I'm done dealing with it, so my channel's not going to deal with it anymore. Ed, that was addressed almost 3 hours ago. Sorry you weren't here for that. Me and Jeff have had talks. We've had discussions. What we've discussed will stay between us. I am focusing this channel towards my internet radio station. CPNI will be totally different, totally separate. It will not be a part of this channel. My involvement or lack of involvement with CPNI in the future will have no effect on CPNI business. Jeff will be decoying. Seven will be on standby as the cameraman and editor. That's all I'll say to that. Tech, I'm fine. I'm not putting out the nice guy persona anymore to act like I'm somebody I'm not, just to try to get people on YouTube to like me and subscribe to me and follow me. Like, fuck that. I ain't about that. If you don't like me for who the fuck I am, get the fuck out of here. I don't care. Like I said, 99% of you guys on YouTube, I don't know personally anyway. So why should what you think of me or whether you like me or not have any effect on my daily life? It doesn't. The only time I think about you guys on Facebook or on YouTube is when I'm on YouTube doing a live and you're in my channel. That's the only time I give you guys a time of day or a thought in my mind. Because I have a life, I have jobs, I have businesses, I have a family. YouTube drama, high school bullshit is the very, 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 very bottom of my concern. So, nope. Actually, Jay, he did not have issues with me banning so many people in his premieres. I sent him screenshots of everything I did, and people lost wrenches because of actions that they did to reverse actions I made. So, maybe that gives you the answer of whether or not I'm out of CPNI. I'm still modded in there, and I'm ban people, and I don't get in trouble for it. Just because I'm not going to be fully 100% involved anymore with them all the time does not mean I'm not a part of it still. But take it as you want to. If you want to take it as I'm not a part of it, cool, take it that way. Because will you see me on the videos? Probably not. Will you hear me in the videos? Probably not. So will I be part of the live catches? Maybe, maybe not. Probably because he hasn't gotten around to removing it yet, Jay. That's probably really the only reason. 100%. But you can go ask Jeff about that. Because I sent the screenshots of that too, and Jeff wasn't pleased with that. He saw what was happening, and it was pissing him off. So no, I just constantly don't give a fuck what other people have to think and say about me. And Tech, it's not a matter of he says to ask me about everything, because I've lurked in some of those. When it comes to evidence, ask me, yes, because I'm the tech guy. I know the technology. I know how to work a cell phone 100%. I know how to work the emails. I know how to upload files. I know how to save them to a drive. I know how to save them to a thumbnail. I know how to email them to people. I know how to have a conversation and make it make sense with detectives. So, yes, I do a lot of the background stuff. And on that note, yes, if NVCap is still here, I'm working on some stuff, and it should be sent to you in the next week or so. Sorry, I've been working 8 of the last 11 days. I'm also waiting for whether it's me getting a hold of the phone again or whatnot. I'm waiting to meet up with Jeff, and because I guess he thought I had the first catch stuff from before I was here. I do not. I literally, like, one of the first things I did when I got here is I took that evidence for him from his decoy phone and emailed it to him from his decoy email. Not my decoy email, not an email I created. It was an email Jeff created that he either had or does not anymore have access to. But I emailed all that to him. And so if he wants me to send that to people, I have to have that emailed to me, or meet up, plug a phone into a computer, and copy it over to the computer so that I can. So that's what's in the works, and that's why it hasn't been yet, but it will be. Also, some other things that are being sent that direction, just because it was asked of me to do that by Jeff. So I'm going to do that. That's what I'm working on. Now that I'm not working, now that I have a few days off, I'm going to start working on some stuff. If me and Jeff can come up with a time to meet up so that I can get what I need, it'll be done. Kinsey, all I'm going to say on that one is that one was decoyed by Jeff fully, pretty much. The chat logs that were released were by Jeff. I had a decoy that I believed, and I told Jeff that I believed I had a decoy account that I had that was talking to Elena. I went back through files that I had saved, chats, screenshots, things like that I had saved. The only thing that I had seen in the way of Elena from any of the other decoys that I thought I had one that had talked to her, and I did, but there weren't any chat logs there. whether I just didn't email them chat logs over to myself, or there wasn't anything there really to keep in evidence wise, because there was nothing more than hi, how are you, and a picture sent. I found the picture and I found her profile in old evidence, but not the full on chat logs of that. Whether that is because, again, I didn't save it right, or that was because I think that was back when I very first started decoying, when my decoy account, that was one of the very first ones I talked to, I think, was Elena. I wasn't totally with how to do everything. I don't think I saved everything right. That's my bad, my fault. I learned from it. So when we said we thought we had other chat logs, I went back and reviewed my accounts. I did not find anything other than a picture that I had that Elena sent me that was provocative. It wasn't nude. It wasn't sexual. It was just a provocative photo. Just put it like that. It was a provocative photo and a screenshot of her profile on Grindr. So that told me that, yes, I'd at least had a hi, how are you? Hey, I'm 15, or hey, I'm 14. And maybe she said, oh, wow, that young. And I said, yeah. And she sent a pic, or I asked her for a face pic so I could get one, and she sent a pic. But other than that, there was nothing there. So because, Ed, I do most of 99.999% of making sure that once we actually go out and do an exposure or a catch, that those chat logs are saved into a file, and then that file emailed over to Jeff and myself, or at least myself, and then that file taken and emailed to the proper detectives once the detectives are contacted or contact us and say, hey, yeah, we actually do need that. Let us look at it. Then I send out. That's me. I do all the tech stuff. That's me. Cell phones, even the resetting of the device. I do the resetting of the device. If we get banned, 99% of the emails that we use for decoying, since we were doing it ourselves, 99% of the emails created were created by me. 99% of the names, because I was and being new to this, I thought it's a good idea to switch the name of the decoy so they don't catch on to, hey, weren't you just on here and you got banned here, boom, banned again? So I thought it'd be easier to change the names. Well, at the same time, it is, but what that does is that makes 10, 15 different decoys accounts in this area, and they could talk to any one of them. Should make it easier for us to get Preds, but it also makes it harder, because then they're like, wait a minute, there's not 15 kids on this app. So we had to refigure the way we were doing things. Now we use one or two names, but we create new emails with fake names, but we use the same decoy name when we go into a place. That's what that is. No, Jeff does have a police contact, and sometimes that's the one that I'm emailing. That's just, Jeff doesn't know a lot about emails and how to attach a file to an email and send it, and how to save things to when he decoys, when he's done, I have to go through the phone and pick out the chats of that one person that we went after, that we went and exposed or caught. Out of all the chats that he has, I have to go and pick those out and make sure I'm picking the right ones, and move them over and save them into a file with that person's name and supposed age and where we got them at. And then I take that file and I email it to myself, and I email it to detectives if the detectives say they want it. But yeah, so there's a lot of back end work that I have to do because Jeff doesn't understand the technology side of it so well. It's why I was originally brought onto the team to begin with, was to help with tech, evidence, emails, phone calls, things. So I just decided to run a backup camera because I thought it'd be cool. Not because I thought I was good at it, not because I was professional at it, but because I just thought it would be something cool to do. Now this is going to be a internet radio. So that's it. Okay, you know what, Barb? It's neither here nor there. That's you. That's not Jeff. Okay? Jeff's not technologically savvy. Okay? That's what it is. That's my thing. Let's just leave it at, why can't we just leave it at that? That's exactly what it is. Jeff doesn't deal with technology. I do. And if I have any involvement, that will likely be the extent of it in the future. Will be emails, text messages, phone calls, making sure things are sent to the proper channels in the proper way so that everything is sent and nothing that shouldn't be. That's that. That's not going to discuss it anymore. Mm-hmm. What does Jeff do? Jeff decoys. That's what Jeff does. Jeff decoys his ass off. Plain and simple. I do the tech stuff behind the scenes to make sure that, again, files are saved to proper spaces, places, sent to proper chains, authorities, whatever. That's me. Sometimes I decoy when I'm not having to deal with other shit, deal with family, deal with jobs, deal with businesses, and I'm not decoying or wasn't decoying. I was doing that. That's what that was. So no, see, and that's the thing. There was no fake catches, none. And proof of that will be sent to NVCAP as well. That's Jeff does the decoying and the exposing, catching, yes. I do the tech stuff. Am I an entrepreneur? Yes, kind of, sort of. Yep, absolutely. I have an internet radio station, KHLC Internet Radio Network. That's an actual business name. And Cox Clan Travel Agency. Yes, he does. Sometimes. I think he does. I don't know. I don't know what he uses. I know that's what I use. Jeff's good at several things, and I'm not going to talk about Jeff on this panel. This isn't a panel to talk about Jeff. This isn't a stream to talk about Jeff. So, again, I'm 3 hours and 45 minutes in. I am getting tired. I really do appreciate you guys coming in here. I appreciate the conversation, the adult conversation that was had between me and the many in here that actually respected my wishes and what I asked and tried to keep it about the stream only. I appreciate that. I only went on and on about him for a minute because somebody asked a question, but I'm not answering anything for Jeff. I'm not. If you have a question about something that Jeff did, Jeff said, Jeff does, Jeff this, whatever, then go ask Jeff. Jeff can address it. He's an adult. If he doesn't want to address it, he doesn't have to. He's an adult. He can make his own choices. So, oh, Haystack Sniper, you'll hear him. You'll hear them. I'll have them written out in the scripts, and I'll live read them if nothing else. So, well, I tried. I tried to have a civil night, but some people pissed me off, and I got a little aggressive. But that's just to get my point across that I'm no longer going to put on this fake persona that I'm some nice guy that's well liked. Because you can ask my wife that I've been with for 12 years. I'm an asshole. I'm not well liked by a lot of people. My circle of friends I could name on one hand. Literally. That's not lying. One hand, probably less than one hand, I could name the actual friends that I have. That I would actually consider a friend, that I would actually care if something happened to. So, I have all 5 fingers on both hands, so we're good there. I didn't say anybody thought I was well liked, just I was told that I needed to be nice on YouTube so people would like me and subscribe to me. Well, you know what? I don't give a shit if people like me. I'm not here to be liked. It's radio. If you've never heard talk radio, them guys have it out all the time. They don't care if they're liked. That actually brings viewers to them and keeps the audience there because they're like, what's the next thing this guy's going to say? No, I want to kind of be that guy. I'm going to be the Howard Stern of YouTube. Get ready for it, guys, because I'm not going to hold back and I'm not going to hold my tongue. If something is said that I don't like, I will let it know. And I know you feel that way, Edward, and I totally respect your thoughts and your opinions and your feelings. That's, I mean, by all means. But again, me and Jeff have had our discussions and we have agreements, and those agreements are between us. Just CPNI is a team of people. It's not one person. So what I do or don't do with them does not affect what they do. Yeah, we didn't refuse to show chat logs. We were just told not to show the chat logs until the cops had everything. And once the cops had everything and had called us and confirmed that they had looked into it and were looking at it, then we were given the permission to release the chat logs. We were hoping the premiere would have been before it was, because we had an editor working on it and then they backed out. So we had to hand that off to Seven, and Seven edited it. Thank you, Seven, for that. If we would have handed it off to Seven as soon as it was done, the premiere would have been 3 days later. Most likely. I'm just saying. So, that was kind of the editor's fault that the chat logs didn't get released. And then when the premiere wasn't ready in 3 days, the cops by that time had contacted me and said, hey, look, don't release any of this yet. We're looking into it seriously. So And we didn't, and then they called us back, said, we're still looking into it, but we feel it's been far enough past whatever it was, 20, 30 days, something like that, even maybe even longer than that. They felt enough time had passed that we could go ahead and post those chat logs, because they weren't pursuing anything yet on their end, but felt that social justice would be good. So then we did release chat logs. So, okay, guys, we're 4 hours into this stream. I only intended to maybe even do an hour, and I've done 4. So, I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to get ready for bed. And call it a night. Thank you guys for coming in. I hope you guys like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't. And I hope you guys return to see the podcast next Monday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. A7FL's Other Side of the Ball podcast will be right here on YouTube as a premiere. But you can hear it before that on Fridays. And it will happen on Friday morning. It'll be loaded onto, it'll be available on Apple Podcast and Spotify Podcast as well. And our podcast is a reaction to the A7FL 3-on-1 podcast, which is also on Apple and Spotify. And that one drops on Wednesdays. So go over there, like and follow those podcasts, and then tune in here on Monday mornings to review the A7FL the A7FL's Other Side of the Ball podcast, and have any questions answered that you may have about said podcast. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. So, you guys have a good night. Peace out. Have a good night. I don't have Nightbot because I don't need Nightbot. So, I'm going to end the broadcast. You guys have a good night. I'm out of here. Casey Cox on KHLC Internet Radio Network. Thank you.